Now, with the Omicron virus on the prowl, India is stepping up its preparedness and restrictions. 2 days after positive cases were detected in Karnataka, the state is tightening its guidelines. Only fully vaccinated people are allowed in the public spaces. Not more than 500 people will be allowed at weddings, meetings and conferences. Events in educational institutes like fests have been suspended till January 15. The Karnataka government has also assured that the missing 10 foreigners who arrived in Bengaluru with a travel history from South Africa will be tracked soon. In Mumbai, the BMC has issued new guidelines to supervise international travellers arriving from at-risk countries. As per the new guidelines, the CEO of the Mumbai International Airport will send a list of foreign passengers to BMC's disaster management cell, who will forward it to the War Room, keeping a tab on these international travellers. The War Room team will also take daily health updates from those in home quarantine. The Maharashtra government has already announced a 7-day home quarantine for all foreign travellers coming from at-risk nations. On Friday, the samples of 30 international passengers have been sent for genome sequencing. Meanwhile, in Rajasthan, 9 members of a family tested positive for COVID after 4 members returned from a trip to South Africa. Their samples have been sent for genome sequencing. My colleague Pankaj Upadhyay is now joining me live on this story. Pankaj, what are the measures the BMC is taking in order to ensure that those who have in fact tested positive for COVID, even possibly the Omicron variant, have not exactly got the opportunity to pass it on to others, those arriving from at-risk nations and those arriving from nations which are not considered to be at risk, but the precautionary measures being taken?
As far as the state government is concerned, they say that they are specifically tracking the people who arrived in Mumbai and Maharashtra from 1st of November to 30th of November. And the Mumbai Municipal Corporation says that they are specifically tracking the people who landed in Mumbai from the midnight of 30th of November. Mayor of Mumbai, today said that around 288 samples have been sent for genome sequencing. That was this number.
Right, Pankaj, we seem to have some trouble with your audio. I'll connect with my colleague Nagarjun, who's joining me from Bengaluru. Nagarjun, some very strict measures which have been applied by the Karnataka government across the state. Take us through those.
Well, the moment that the 2 cases were detected of the new variant in Karnataka, the government swung into action. Right now, what are the new rules is that any person who's entering malls, theaters, and the parents will who send their children to the school will have to have double vaccination. And any cases in a place where there are 3 cases and above will be considered as clusters. And all international passengers upon arrival will go on compulsory RT-PCR test. Once they are given negative certificate, only then they will go out and still remain under home quarantine from the at-risk countries' arrival. And even in domestic arrivals, Maharashtra and Kerala, passengers coming in from these 2 states will have to undergo RT-PCR tests. And the government has ordered now every hostel, there should be a random sampling done in especially residential schools and in apartments so that the spread is also controlled. Bowring Hospital in Bangalore has been dedicated for the Omicron variant right now. And the 2 persons who were tested positive, one has left the country, the other one, who is the doctor, is getting treated here.
Right. Nagarjun, thank you so much for all of those details.